but I have much respect for this brother. I'm gonna give my comments at the end, but we have another brothers.
Greetings, brothers.
Greetings.
When you think of this gentleman, you think of your grandmother's quilt, that quilt of many colors, meticulously handcrafted. We see the bright colors, but if you really look closely, it's not the bright colors that makes a quilt, but rather you have to look at the fine thread that is unseen, not necessarily as bold as the colors. This gentleman is the thread of college brother mentoring, the thread of Alpha protocol, the thread of keeping Alpha peace, the thread of being his brother's keeper, a protector and keeper of the personification of black womanhood. He is a brother's brother. He's one you can call, he delivers, you shake his hand, and you never hear it again. And 1 second later, he continues to be the embodiment of the quintessential alpha man. And you know that man is a strong keeper of records.
If I can help somebody, the word of song. If I can show someone he's traveling wrong, then my living is not in vain. When I think of this brother, I think of that quote. Because all through his career in Alpha, it's been about Alpha, not about him. He helps brothers, whether they're college or alumni. He go out of his way to make sure things are in compliance. We'll call you on the phone to let you know, hey, you are missing this. Never ask for nothing. Never. By putting his name in the hat, he could be the Louisiana District Director. By putting his hand in the hat, he could be the Southwest Regional Vice President. But that's not what he wants to do. He just wants to help. He's never been running for an office, but yet he's in the region, the district, and the national. Because the works that he has done speaks for him. Without a doubt, if I had a son to be an alpha man, I would let him pattern after this brother. It is because of this brother that I am an alpha man. He took me in, kept my nose to the grindstone, let me know what it means to be a part of this fraternity. And even now, make sure that I'm still on the right road. Let me know that Alpha is too big for just you. It's for the brothers. And that's what I think about him. That brother is what they call a brother's brother. Everybody know him. Probably 3/4 of this room was made by him. But he is just an ordinary person doing big things in our fraternity.
Good afternoon, brothers.
Good afternoon.
If we were to look in the book of Exodus, in chapter 14, it chronicles when God told Moses to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. Despite Pharaoh and the Egyptians hot on their tail, Moses complied. The man that we're going to bring up to the stage is somewhat like Moses. You see, because many brothers have asked him, "Why do you take us out to this desert to die? There must not have been enough graves in Egypt." And he replies, "Young men, just trust in God and trust in me, and we will get to the promised land. It may have taken 40 years, but this brother has led many Israelites out of Egypt." You see, brothers, undergraduate and alumni, do a lot of living in Egypt. How many of you have been under Pharaoh's control? And I'm not talking about the Pharaoh in Egypt. I'm talking about the Pharaoh of inadequacy, the Pharaoh of not belonging, the Pharaoh of being a place that you may not think you should have been. But yet, there was a Moses who tapped you on the shoulder and said, "Follow me. We're going to make it to the promised land. We are going to make it to the light." And when you see that light, the only thing I ask from you is that you pull another brother along. This next brother that we're going to bring up helped rescue me from one of the pharaohs. Going to a 33,000 student campus from the metropolis of Fraternity, Louisiana, because it is a metropolis, was a daunting task. I felt like I did not belong. I felt like it should not have been me. But one night, on the campus of Louisiana State University, there was a man who reminded me of Moses. And he said, "Maurice D. Gibson, trust in me and follow God, and you will get to the light." There are several brothers that he's brought to the light. And I'm hoping, and I know it will, this honor is befitting of this brother.
Our family trees are not the same. We both have different mothers. But yet, I proudly tell the world that this man is my brother. You see, it's like we've lived our lives together, though we meet for the very first time, as this powerful sense of brotherhood makes everything seem fine. In 1993, I met a man, a student coming from a broken household in Vidalia, Louisiana, next door to the metropolis of Fraternity. I came to LSU as a teenager who had fathered a son at the age of 14. Had no idea of what my way forward would be. Had no idea of what Alpha Phi Alpha was really all about. And then I met a man who I discovered had been the secret to the success of a chapter that was chartered in 1978 on the campus of Louisiana State University. A man who had been the secret to that chapter's success, of it having won 2 national chapters of the year. And when I went to him and said, "How do I become a member of this illustrious organization?" he told me that you're gonna have to do things a different way, because what I see in you is not what I know you have been destined to be. He gave me hope He believed in me. He cleaned me up, purchased my first suit, taught me how to tie my tie, taught me how to be a father to my son. This man that we are celebrating and honoring today led me on a path, and so many others, to points in their lives where they're able to register significant accomplishments. This man had the gall, after bringing me into Alpha Phi Alpha, to suspend me during my first year, and told me that it is because I love you that I'm going to suspend you. Would not allow me to represent Alpha Phi Alpha on the campus of LSU for 2 years. This man, even while I was on suspension, invited me over for Thanksgiving dinner, made me plates at Christmas to take home to my family, baked cakes for my mother, formed a relationship with my son, Roger Jr., while I was on suspension. He loved me as if I was his son. This man said to me, Roderick, you must get a PhD because I see a college presidency in your future. Way before I even thought about it. He said, Roderick, this man that we're celebrating today, defines the essence of the poem that I started. Spectators stand and they look with awe as we do our secret shake, never realizing that our clasping of hands does not a brother make. For we are brothers in a deeper sense than they can comprehend. For when our bond has just begun, theirs is about to end. And when we were searching for the light, as all Sphinxmen must do, they stood aside and they laughed. They said, I wouldn't do that with you. And yet when we had crossed those sands and the light they could finally see, they stood aside and they whispered softly, oh, how I wish it were me. You see, I know the decision that I made was wise. Of this, I'm sure, and I have no doubt each day in my life will have blue skies, for I am an alpha man from here on out. Never again will I be lonely, for I have brothers everywhere, even in a city where the population is 2. I have a brother there. There's nothing in this whole wide world that we wouldn't do for one another. I'm sure that I'd even give my life to save that of my brother. So when asked, why weigh yourself down with the load of another? I think about this man. I think about a man who brought a chapter at Louisiana State University to the point of not only being named National Chapter of the Year 2 consecutive years, but having 4 assistant vice presidents to come from this chapter. For having 2 regional vice presidents, Brother Maurice Gibson and yours truly. For having twice a nominee for general president. This man is who I think about when I say he ain't heavy. He is my brother. Thank you.
This is another brother. When you want to know something, you call. And as you heard from those close to him, this is another brother who asks for anything, does not ask for anything. Brothers, be it known that the Louisiana District Fraternal Luncheon will henceforth be named the Brother Alvin J. Cavalier Fraternal Luncheon, honoring his exemplary years of service to the spirit of the probably wondering how we was able to order this plaque, because he ordered on the awards, but that's why I said I hope you're gonna be mad with me, but.
They told me in the beginning that Keith Dillon was no good. He just proved that he made a fool of me. You know, he actually had me to order the plaque for Brother Travis. With no indication whatsoever that this will be happening to me today. I'm really speechless. This has caught me totally off guard. I'm definitely not prepared for this and didn't expect it. You know, let me just say this. I had a miserable night last night. I was terribly, terribly sick with upset stomach and whatnot all night long. I started to stay in the room and maybe I should have stayed in the room. First T-Rock and now Keith. But anyway, what can I say? It really can be just summed up in 3 words. Whatever I've done down through the years, it's just all love. It's all about love. That's all I can say. Like I said, I'm not ready for this, but thank you. And y'all waiting on it too. Forget y'all.